Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Pet.IAS. Let's start our session on the IAS PCSwala Delhi current affairs, and before entering into the session, we will try to know that what will be our approach again. The first, we will do the discussion, and after that, during the discussion, we also try to bring one of the main question from the most important topic. You have to write the answer. Even you just have to make the approach, and after the discussion you have to write the answer. So please write the answer. So mains questions 1 or 2, maximum 2. Then we will bring the 5 to 6. Maybe it could go to the 7, 8 question for the prelims, and we will provide the notes so that you can revise as well. So please watch this video, and after that please revise the notes and solve the question, write the main answer. This is the overall plan for this, and this will provide you a comprehensive and a complete package for the current affairs, overall current affairs. Okay, so this daily will make a monthly, and the monthly will make the yearly. So whole, you don't have to think about a different type of the material. Single material, the most important material that is read across the UPSC aspirant, that is the Hindu, and that is being covered into the very holistic manner. So let's start with the topic that we are going to cover. We will start with the first topic, and this is with the Bhutan's our assistance for the Bhutan, and we are going to assist Bhutan with the 10,000. So this is a significant increase into the amount. Previously it was 5,000. So it's reflecting a very good improvement, and also there has been the highest award of the Bhutan that has been given, awarded to the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Okay, so it will be for the mains as well as for the prelims, because this award, you should remember, in the prelims they can ask. In the mains, our relation with the Bhutan, here it will work. Then we will study can Arvind Kejriwal continue to be CM while the custody? So this is a constitutional question. Here we will see that what has been the viewpoint of the judiciary. So it will be for the prelims as well as for the mains. We will study one of the case where Madras High Court has provided the opinion that what should be there. Okay. Then we have seen High Court says that Uttar Pradesh Madrasa Education Act is unconstitutional. Okay, so again it is for the mains. Then we will study that 2 was the consequence for the America's standing. So here we will study that the war into the Ukraine and the war with the Hamas and Israel, what is going to signify for the global world order. So it is for the mains, and also we will see that how the US is impacting this war, and consequently US itself is getting impacted by this war. So we will study that. After that we will study that there has been the fight between the Pakistan and Afghanistan. There has been the dispute, air strike, all this thing. Again we will try to know into the brief, so it will be for the mains. After that we will study that this Citizenship Amendment Act with respect to the how the partition, the role of partition has been there. So it will be for the mains. After that we will study that there has been the human and wild conflict that is continuously going into the Kerala. So there has been a detailed case study has been there. So it will be for the mains, and we will write a mains practice question on this topic, on the human and animal conflict and how we can mitigate it. So it will be for the GS paper 3, environment. And after that we will study that there has been the 2 minor observation. One is that equality has dipped over the past decade as per this is the claim from the government. So again for the mains, GS paper 3, where inequality and equality we covered. And after that we will study that India is going to, in the Africa for the critical minerals. So we will know that what is the critical minerals for the prelims point of view, and what are the relevance, what are the significance of these minerals. Then it will be used into the mains GS paper 3 as well. Okay. So this will be our approach. So let's study with the front page, the first news that is very much sensational, that is continuously it has been core point of the discussion. Okay, So let's see the first news here. It is given that Arvind Kejriwal sent to the ED custody, and he will be in the custody till March 28. So this is the news. So here we will study that what is the main reason for the him to be custody. It is due to the allegation of the corruption, and corruption into the legal policy was formed so that it would be enabled to the taking bribes. So this is the main accusation. Okay. The opposition, the AAP and other opposition, they are talking about that why this is being done at the very when there is the election is to be held, and you are creating a non-level playing field for the party that is into the power and the other opposition parties. Okay, so here it has been all discussed. So here it has mentioned that the 6-day remand that has been given, and special prevention of Corruption Act Kaveri Baweja that has given this. Okay. So you should know all this thing here. The allegation is of the corruption of the 100 crore. Now it is expected that it could go to 600 crore. So all this thing, this is not that much relevant for the UPSC. So that only thing this that we will know. Again, this is again. Here it is given that the Governor R.N. Ravi re-induct Pon Mundi as the minister. So again, it was as per the follow-up from the Supreme Court judgment. Already we saw that as per Article 164.1. So please remember this article, Article 161.4.1. It's talk about chief minister should be appointed by the governor, and other ministers should be appointed by the governor on the advice of the chief minister. So please remember this. Second thing, 164.2 clause 2 talks about that the council of ministers should be responsible to the state legislature assembly. So this gives the accountability of executive towards the legislature. So please remember this article. So this is important for the as per the this is continuously into the news. Okay. Next news that is again political, not that much relevant. That is the BJP and BJT to go solo. So there is the break of the alliance. It was expected that the BJP and BJD they are going to fight with the alliance, but yes, here the alliance, the talk between both have not being fruitful, and overall, it is also considered that one of the reasons that the VK Pandian recently left the government service, and it is hoped that he will succeed into the BJD as the chief. Okay. So here the BJP says that it will not able to justify the succession because whether the people of the Odisha they are going to accept it or not, that is very much is still not clear, because he is not from the Odisha, he is from the Tamil Nadu. So this is the region. So this is all about here. The most important news and the most relevant news is that the India to double assistance to the Bhutan to 10,000 crore over the 5 years. This is the most important. Okay. And here it is given that our Prime Minister Modi, Narendra Modi, has been given order of the Druk Galpo award. This is the highest award, highest honor of the Bhutan. Okay. And this has been given to the any first foreigners. This is the first time that any foreigners has been awarded with this honor. Okay, so please remember this. Here it is given, and it has been given as the contribution of Prime Minister Modi to enhance the relationship between Bhutan and India. So here it is given. Our Prime Minister has mentioned that we are going to help Bhutan into the development of Jalaphu Mindful City. So please remember this. This city that is into the core for the development. And here it is given that our Prime Minister who landed into the Paro Valley. So please remember, if the Paro Valley comes, so it is into the Bhutan. Paro Valley, this name is so much famous into the Devdas picture. There was one character whose name was the Paro. So you can remember Paro Valley. Where is the Paro Valley? It is into the Bhutan. So we should remember this thing, that we are going to provide the 10,000 crore. Previously it was the 5,000 crore. So we have doubled. And why we are doing all this thing? Because we know that China want to bring Bhutan closest to it. So India want to counter that. India have to bring a lot of effort, and India is making a lot of effort to develop the infrastructure like the Jallefu mindfulness city here we are going to develop. Beside that, we are going to increase this our assistance into the 5-year plan. And also you should know we are working in a lot of other area like the connectivity and infrastructure, trade and energy sector. The most important thing that you should know is that we are working into the hydropower generation as well. Okay. And it was the Tendril Thang festival. Here the Prime Minister Modi was addressed the gathering, and here he was awarded with that award. Here he said that the king of Bhutan said that the Modi was a true friend. Okay, and he has helped a firm support for the Bhutan's national vision to achieve the self-reliance and become the developed nation. Okay, not about the developing, it is talking about the developed nation. Okay, so here all this India and Bhutan has very unique relationship. Please remember all this thing. And this is here that Bhutan has a very less diplomatic relation, and it was after the consultation with the India. That is the main point. Both respect each other. India respect the sovereignty of the Bhutan, and Bhutan respect India that it is as the big brother, and yes, it is the brother that with the helping hand, and there is no threat to the sovereignty of the Bhutan. That is the always a clear-cut understanding between the two, and that's why suspicion is not there. Next important news that we are going to take is this: can Arvind Kejriwal continue to be the CM while he is into the custody? So the question is that he is into the custody, and for that, is it constitutionally moral that he should hold the office? So there is the two judgment you should refer. The first judgment is here the S. Ramchandran versus Senthil Balaji. Okay, so here the argument was that regarding whether a minister accused of financial scandal should forfeit their right to hold office requiring high moral standard, because he is into the public office and there is the expectation from the public that he should follow the constitutional morality and the a public morality as well. Okay, so whether he has virtually forfeited his office as a minister on account of being arrested or detained in the prison. So this is the take the reference of the previous judgment into the Manoj Narula versus Union of India case. This is very important. This was the 2014 judgment. Here, it was discussed that the basic norms for the holding a public office should be constitutional morality and avoiding any of the action that is contrary to the rule of law. Okay, so here it is given that if there is any breach of the rule of law, you cannot hold the office. Beside that, it was argued that the government has to rise above the narrow private and personal interest and parochial political outlook. Okay. So the third condition that was there should be the constitutional trust of holding high moral standard attached to a public office. So here you can use a very famous example is that when there was our first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru at that particular time, our railway minister was the Lal Bahadur Shastri, and in a particular time there was a railway accident that occurred into the Tamil Nadu, and it was due to the cyclone. There was no miscalculation, or there was no any lack of the duty. Okay, so here just our then Railway Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri take the responsibility that it was due to the cyclone. Despite that, he said that I was the minister for this railway, and that particular time is this accident took place. So I was not able to prevent, and it was due to the natural reason. It was a natural disaster. Okay, there was a very high frequency, high speed cyclone was there. And at that particular time, the science and technology was not that much up to the level that prediction was not that much before the cyclone strike landfall is there. So the train was slipped to there was the breeze, and there was the sea breeze, and into that fall into the sea. There was a lot of death. Okay, so he gave the resign. Despite the Prime Minister of that time, Jawaharlal Nehru, said that there was no fault from your side. I will not accept the your resignation. But the Lal Bahadur Shastri said that, look, I will again go to the next election to the public, and if they have the trust, only I will accept any of the post. So that type of that is standard of the morality, constitution morality, extents of the public responsibility, accountability was that. But here we are not seeing that any type of responsibility now. Okay. What is the practical difficulty that if a person, if a minister or the chief minister is continuously keeping keep that post, hold into that ministry level or the chief minister post? So what will be the main thing? If he is in the jail, so it will be very difficult for this minister into the prison that to access the departmental file. Okay, without the breaching of their oath of the office. The first thing that. The second thing is that if you are in the jail, you are not working, you are not fulfilling your duty, how could you take the salary as well? If you are on that post, you will draw the salary. Okay, so holding a public office without performing any duty. So again, it is the moral crisis as well as the constitutional, against the constitutional morality. Okay. So the High Court agreed that this concern was based on the public morality and constitutional morality. Okay, so this is here. And beside that, the most important thing is the citizens expect a person in power to be uphold the high standard of the moral conduct. As I give you the example of the Lal Bahadur Shastri, so that level of this moral standard, moral conduct is expected. So High Court emphasizes that the political compulsion should not override public morality, good governance and constitutional morality. Please be very careful of this thing, and this is very important. Okay, so please remember all this thing. Next important news that we are going to cover is that the High Court says that Uttar Pradesh Madrasa Education Act unconstitutional. So here we will see that it was the act of the 2004, and now it is declared that this is creating a divisive education, and that's why this is not constitutional, because it talk about the state cannot establish the educational board solely for the specific religion or the philosophy. It goes against the secular principle. If you are going for a particular religion, you are not diversifying the different type of religion. So this is not. And if you are talking about it is providing the education that is sufficient. So court rejected it. Okay, here it was given the plea, it was given argument that it provide the traditional type of the education and that is sufficient. So court ordered the government that please integrate all these students with the government recognized primary education board and the higher education board. So this is all about, this is talking about that there need to be provide different type of education based on the religion, and it is it should be deemed constitutional if it is talking about just one religion. Okay, so it is state duty to provide the secular education to all children up to the age of 18 years. Okay, regardless of their religion. So here this further there will be development. I think this will go into the further higher court. So let's see what is going on. The next important news that is from the editorial, and here we are going to discuss this article. This is talking about the two war, the consequences for the America's standing. So here it is talking about that the war that is going into the Ukraine and also between the Israel and Hamas, that has the consequence of at the global level, and America is playing a very vital role in the both of the war. America had a very strong support. Okay, but the thing is that whatever the result will be there, it will also impact the American position. So let's start with the how it is going on. So this article start with the what is the present condition into the US. Here it is found that now that Donald Trump stand. Now if the Donald Trump will win, so he is of the view that he is not going to support the Ukraine and he will withdraw the support for the Ukraine. And second thing is that European countries should bear the more of the financial burden of the conflicts. This is the stand of the Donald Trump. Even the, if you will further into this article, it has discussed that even the Joe Biden, that administration also is against to the continuous attack, particularly in the case of the Israel. They are against the Israeli position, that is now they are attacking the civilians. So here, in this case, with respect to the Ukraine, there has the two stand, but with respect to the Israel, there is the sum of the common point. So here, first thing you should know that yes, if the Trump is going to come into the power, there will be the swift negotiation and end of the Russian-Ukraine war. So this is the Trump's foreign policy intention. So here, what has been the position of US with respect to the Ukraine? We have seen that already given support to the Ukraine, $75 billion, and this has been used into the different purpose like the military use, finance, its governance, and also also to the purchase of the military system, military weapons, mostly from the US itself. Ukraine has bought. So it is like the US is giving the money to buy from myself. Okay, instead of that, US should have given all this weapon free of cost and money as well. So here this is the way the real politics go. So US has given the money, and most of this money has been used for the buy equipment like the stringent missile, HIMARS weapon system. So you should remember all this thing. Beside that, Ukraine has been held up there has been the recent bill with respect to the funding of the Ukraine, but this has not been passed into the US Congress. So because there has been the opposition from the some of the Republican group. Okay, so this lack of the money that is needed to the Ukraine has been compensated. European Union has tried to compensate it. Still there has been a lot of shortage. Okay, so here this money again is used with the financial economy, military, and the humanitarian support. The thing is that there is a group that is known as the Make America Great Again, MAGA group, that is the supporter of the Trump, and they are not into the view to the funding the Ukraine war again, and they don't want to create the burden on the US of this war. So this is here position. Okay. So Ukraine is facing the challenge. Already we have seen that Ukraine is not able to devise an effective strategy against the Russia. Okay, and we have seen that there has been the shortage and ineffective tactics have been contributed to the Ukraine defeat in the to the Avdiivka. Okay, so Avdiivka, let's locate it into the map of Ukraine. Okay, so this is the Avdiivka. So please remember this. If I will enlarge, there will be this will be Avdiivka. So here Russian has entered. This is under the control of the Russia. One thing you should remember, this is the Sea of Azov. Okay, Sea of Azov. So please remember the Sea of Azov. Okay, so this and this is the Black Sea. So you should not be confused that here the Sea of Azov that is touching the Ukraine. You can ask that Sea of Azov where it is located, whether it touched the Ukraine or not. So please be clear. Yes, it does. One thing you must be able to very visibly see in this picture. This is this water body. This is the only water body that is into this. Okay. So, do you know that what is the name of this water body? What is the name of this river? This is known as the Dnieper. Okay, so D is the silent here, and Dnipro, Dniapro. This is known. Okay, this is the most longest river into the Ukraine as well as Belarus, and this is the first longest of the Europe. Okay, so please remember this. The largest river of Europe is the Volga. Please remember this as well. Okay. So this is very important into the economy of the Ukraine as well as Belarus. It start from the Russia and it's follow its path. So the Belarus and Ukraine. So please remember. So this is all about, you should know about this river. So this is here. So now we have seen that at the initial stage, the Russia was not that much effective into the war strategy, but after that, Russia has adopted and improved, and now it is dominating, and it has used its unified gliding and correction module glide bomb. So this has been used in a very effective manner, and we have seen that now Ukraine has exhausted its artillery. It doesn't have the money and resources to fund and fulfill the need. Okay, so this is the stand. Here it is the what is the situation into the Gaza. So recently we saw that U.S. administration, even the Joe Biden, initially they were supporting and they were only supporting standing with the Israel, but now we have seen that after the attack of Israel into the Rafah, and there has been a lot of civilian death. So it is considered that the decision of the Israeli Prime Minister is not as for the interest of the nation, but it is as for the saving his own political survival rather than the strategic consideration. And overall, the legitimacy of the Israel is diluting. Even many of those who were supporting the cause of the Jews and Israeli cause, they are opposing. Here it has given that. One of the statement from the one of the official of yes and Haas, who is also a Jewish, he has criticized the Israel action and he stated that they have harmed the relationship with the US and caused harm to the innocent Palestinians. So that has been the stand of the many of the such Jews who were initially in the support, they were in the support of the Israel, but now they find that there is the political mindset and political interest of the Prime Minister of the Israel that is going on. Okay. So here the only solution that is proposed from the this side is the sustainable peace in the region requires Israel to outline a future that include a Palestinian state even with the limited sovereignty. So without the bringing a even with the compromise sovereignty is a Palestinian state is needed. So this is the ground even those who were supportive of the Israel, they are also of the view that please bring a state where the Palestinian right could be ensured. Okay. So here the Trump factor is that Trump is very clear about that. He is going to withdraw from the support of the Ukraine, but yes, he is going to take a stand supporting the Israel. So this is very clear. And here it is very key. The thing is that if the US is going to withdraw from the supporting the Ukraine, and if there will be the defeat of the Ukraine, there will be lost a lot of repercussion. Even the US role as the guarantor for the security for the Europe as well as many of the countries of the Asia such as the South Korea, Japan, Philippines, okay, Taiwan, all they are dependent on the security from the US. And if withdrawn is going to be there, so it will give a wrong message, incorrect message, a very harmful image that will be projected of the US that it is not going to be a guarantor. And even it will impact the alliance with the India as well. Here it is given. Okay, so this article is talking all these things. So please be very careful of the all this thing. Okay, so this is the stand that will be there. Next news that is of the editorial, this is here, the editorial that is talking about the AAP trap, Kejriwal's arrest, a reminder of the danger of misusing the enforcement agency. So it is talking about that how there has been the both sides have the some of the critical conditions. So here it is talking that the leader, that the Chief Minister of the Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, that has been arrested on the ground of the corruption and money laundering into the Delhi excise policy. Okay, so this is true if you are going with that. But the thing is that the question is being asked that if you have the sufficient, if the ED had the sufficient evidence, why it is not going for the trial directly? Why it is going to just arresting and keeping this person into the jail and just going on to for the investigation on and on. So this is the thing. Okay. So it is like the selective encroachment of the law and undermining the public trust into the democracy. Means it is going to be like the misuse of the state power. Okay, so central agency have the targeted constitutional functionary. We have recently saw there had been the arrest of the Jharkhand chief minister. So this has brought the concern about the potential for the democratic politics that could be disrupted. Okay, so here if you are talking about that, you are so much serious about the eradication of the corruption. So why it is not going to be those leaders where they are going to join the BJP? The question is that here it is discussed that if any of those opposition leader, even they have been into the corruption charges, if they are going to join the BJP, they will be not arrested, and the all the these cases will be held into the pending. There will be no such investigation. We have seen that those the person that is chief minister of the Assam, he was in the accusation of the Sarda scam, and before he was into the Congress at that particular time. But when he joined the BJP, all this investigation allegation was put into the cold bag. Okay, and yes, he was provided with the chief minister post. So this is the case. So this is like you are showing the leniencies to those who switch to the allegiance to you, and yes, so if even there is the corruption charges, so the way it has been held, or the way it has been investigated. For example, now the election is there, Lok Sabha election is there, and you have arrested the main leader of that party. So this is also bringing a question mark that even if they are wrong, so two wrong cannot make a right. If they are making some mistake, you are also making the mistake. So it will be not beneficial for the anyone, even not for the society. This is all about from the next news, that is again from this Pakistan and Afghanistan. They are attacking each other. So this is already we have covered. So we have covered that the way the there has been the attack from the Pakistani side into the Afghanistan area, and Afghanistani side from the Pakistan area. So this is why this is the main region. So this is mainly with the ideological difference and the way Pakistan want to treat the Afghanistan, the benefit that wanted to be extract from the Afghanistan after the Taliban rule, that was not substantialized. Okay, materialized. This is the main region. Okay, so here it is talking about at the very initial stage when there was the Taliban rule, the Pakistan praised the coming of the Taliban into the power as the breaking free from the operation. This was held. Okay. So actually the thing is that when the thing become very worse, when there was the dispute is started with the border dispute that is between the Afghanistan and the Pakistan. This is particularly into the area of the Durand line. Okay, so Durand line, this divide the Pakistan and Afghanistan, but Afghanistan do not accept this line. He is of the view of there is the suspicion that yes, the Pashtun area, there is the suspicion that in which side it will come. Okay. The second thing for the dispute is with the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Okay. So there is the two type of the Taliban into the Afghanistan. One is the Afghan Taliban, and this is the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. This is also known as the Pakistan Taliban. So this is of the view that we will make a government, a law into the Pakistan that will be totally run by the Islamic law and the clergy. So a theocratic type of the state, that is the aim. The way the Afghan Taliban, they have created the government into the Afghanistan that everything will be as per the Islamic law. But this Pakistan now, it is following the Islamic law as well as it has some of the modern value, modern thing that has brought into the constitution of the Pakistan. The thing is that they want a clear cut of the imposition of the Islamic law. So there is always the difference. So there is always difference that if you are going to impose the religion, who is the better way they are going to impose. Means I am better into the religion, you are not following the religion. This is accusation. Like this Tehreek, but Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan think that the way Pakistan is being ruled is not good. Okay. So here this has been the there has been the criticism from the Pakistan side against this, and they have demanded from the Afghan Taliban that please do not support this Tehreek Taliban Pakistan. And as the Afghan Taliban, there has been a very mutual, friendly and brotherly relation between the both, because both these Afghan Afghan Taliban and this Taliban Pakistan, they have the different organization, but they have the same ideological, and they think that they are the brothers, and both are the Pashtuns. Okay. So, and also they have the common ground on they are the follower of the Deoband the interpretation of the Islam, and believe in the rule of the Sunni Islamic clergy. This is the thing that is the main thing. Okay. And they want to be TP, that's want to bring the Sunni Islamic clergy rule. Okay. So Pakistan is what Afghan Taliban have already achieved into the Afghanistan. So the same thing that this TTP want to achieve into the Pakistan as well. Okay. So the Afghan Taliban success has emboldened with the TTP and leading to the tension between the Afghan and Pakistan, and there has been the mutual attack on this ground that Pakistan consider that this Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, they are attacking in our area, and Afghan Taliban is supporting Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Okay, so please don't be confused. It is like that there is, let me explain in a simplified way. In the Afghanistan, there is the two type of the Taliban. Okay, Taliban. Two type of the Taliban. One is known as the Afghan Taliban, and one is the Pakistani Taliban. Pakistani Taliban. This is also known as the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Okay, so this is the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Okay, so this Afghan Taliban, they wanted to create a clergy, a Sunni Islamic clergy rule into the Afghanistan. Their aim has been fulfilled. Now they have toppled the government, normal government of the Afghanistan, and now they have created. But they want to create same thing into the Pakistan. Okay. So here the Taliban initially was supported by the Pakistan against the Russian invasion. They created all these things, but now they think that they will be supportive to them. But due to this Taliban Pakistani Taliban, here there is a tussle between the Pakistan and now this Afghan Taliban. Initially they were supporting, but after so many requests to act against this Taliban, they have not done because they think that they are the brother, they are the Pashtuni brothers. So they have the same ideology, they follow the same type of the religious ideology. Okay, and that's why they are going to support that. Okay, so this is the main case, and they are attacking into the Pakistan area, and now Pakistan is attacking into Afghanistan because they think that they are supporting to this category of the Taliban. So you should be clear that the two type of the Taliban, Tehreek-e-Taliban, they are against the Pakistan. Next important news that we are going to take is the CAA, Muslim exclusion, and the lens of the right. So here it is the right, this is the right wing. Okay, so this is talking that the justification of exclusion of Muslims from the CAA, that is the Citizenship Amendment Act, that is the first on the ground of the partition, that yes, and the second is the persecution of the Muslim. As the majority, there is no such thing. So it is denial into this exclusion of Muslims from the CAA. So here, the writer is trying to bring the point that this is not the partition, this was not due to the Muslim first thing. And the second thing is that if you are talking about the persecution of the Muslim, there is no such, because as the Muslims are the majority in all these three countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, so there is no persecution. This is the stand of the government. So both has been discussed that this is not this is not true, because yes, here it is discussed that it is not the whole Muslim class that was responsible for the partition or the creation of the Pakistan. It was only few of the elite Muslims, and they were the landlord Muslim who were the responsible for the landlord in the North India. They were the responsible for the creation of the Pakistan and partition of the India. And the second thing is that it is the Hindu right aspiration for a Hindu Rashtra. This created alienation among the Muslim elite alongside the colonial divide and rule policy. So in 1920 there was the there was a thought that was given by the Hindu right that we will create the Hindu Rashtra, and that's why it created a sense of the suspicion and fear into the Muslim that if we will remain into this Hindu Rashtra, there will be we will be like the second grade citizen, and that's why we need a separate nation, and that's why partition is the needed. The second thing is that the colonial government also provided the divide and rule. Okay, so here there is the example that the many of the Indians, they were so much against the partition. Even this concept was going on for the partition. A lot of the major leaders from the Muslim community, example like the Ghaffar Khan, and yes, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, and Abul Kalam Azad. Abul Kalam was Azad was the first education minister of the Free India, you should remember that. And Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan is also known as the Frontier Gandhi. So please remember this for the prelims, as well as he is known for his association with the Red Sword. They were the service group, and it was created by the Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. So please remember all these things. Besides that, the Sheikh Abdullah was also talking about the unification and the support for the India. And even the leaders, many leaders from the Deoband group, they were also against the partition. So please remember. Even as per there was a suspicion from in the mind of the Southern leader, the OBC leader, and the Dalit leader, the Periyar advocated for the Dravidistan. And he was of the belief that the political freedom sought by the Indian nationalist elite. So he was of the view that the freedom that is being given, this is going into the hand of those elite, and they will do nothing. These elite are the upper caste of the Hindu, and they will do nothing for the marginalized caste of the society, and particularly South Indian people. So that's why he was talking about the Dravidistan. Okay, so please remember. Besides that, the concept of the Pakistan on the case on the ground of the religion was proved wrong when there was the partition of the Pakistan itself into the Pakistan, West Pakistan, and the Bangladesh. Previously, it was the West Pakistan and the East Pakistan. So it shows that despite both were the two Muslim countries, they were not accommodated the differences on the ground of the language. So if there will be the same religion but there is no agreement, there could be the division. But if there are so many diverse groups but they have the agreement, they have the common ground, they can live, they can sustain on the same ground. Okay. So here it is also given that the Muslim at the time of partition, they faced lot of confusion with respect to whether they have to remain into the India or go into the Pakistan. For example, when Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, he learned that the Muslim League was inciting the Muslim official working into the Central Secretariat to leave for the Pakistan, he went and assured this official that please remain into the India and you will be provided sufficient rights, and whatever the rights given to the other Indians. Okay, so that after that there was the circular that was notified, and after that, yes, Jawaharlal Nehru as well as Lord Mountbatten, they supported this. Okay. Second thing is the argument of the persecution. The argument is that in the Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan, the only Muslim are into the majority. If you are into the majority, there is no chance that you will be persecuted. But you should remember that within a large group, there is also subdivisions. There is the subsect and different endowments and a different type of the different sects. So here we see that in the Pakistan or the Afghanistan or the Bangladesh, there has been the persecution on the name of the political ideology, despite you are into the same group. Okay, the same thing is that there has been within the Muslim, there is a sect like the Ahmadiyya, Sohrawardi, they have been persecuted. And one of the example that the Nobel Prize winner, the Professor Abdus Salam, okay, he was discriminated because he was Ahmadiyya. So this is the one of the example. Okay, and we have seen that such type of the discrimination and persecution has also impacted negatively. If there is the persecution of the minorities such as the Hindu, Sikhs or anything into the Pakistan and Afghanistan, there has been the repercussion into the Indian Muslim because they were excluded, or they were made the vulnerable or the marginalized on this ground as well. So please remember all this thing. Next thing is that what is the overall thing that is reflecting? This is not the ground of the persecution, or this is not the partisan agenda. This is the overall the right-wing agenda, that the de-Islamization of the India, and it is reflected into the not giving candidates, Muslim candidate, the ticket or the crackdown on the madrasas of the state like the Uttar Pradesh and the Assam, or the targeting Dargah and the mosque, contributing all this to the agenda of the BJP decision. Okay, so BJP agenda of the de-Islamization of the India. So there has been, this is from the writer's point of view. Okay, so the thing is that the irony is that the neither the secular political class, not the Muslim, they have able to bring a well-crafted political response to all this agenda. They have become just the they are giving just the reaction. They don't have the a proper organized idea to counter this agenda. So that is the writer that wanted to discuss here. Next important news that we are going to take is the a turf war with the wild. Here it is in the context of the Kerala. Here we are seeing that the continuous conflict between the human and animal, and particularly a lot of death has been reported from the districts such as the Idukki. Okay, so here we will see that the recent case of the 5 March, there was the death reporting, and it was due to the from the Kadar tribe. So please remember what is who are the Kadar tribe. They are from the Thrissur district of the Kerala, and they often collect the forest produce like the honey, tubers and the Marottikkur. Okay, so please remember this thing. What is the main reason? Here we see that the mostly this is the elephant that is the causing the attack. So main thing is that it is considered that it is the due to the there are the period when the elephants they comes into the must, and this is known as the aggressive behavior. And why they are aggressive? Because they have the increased reproductive hormones, and this is the resulting into the attack. Okay. So here the one or two major reason that the Kerala is a very has a very dense forest, and the people just there is the settlement, there is the village, there is the town, and just adjacent to the town there is the dense forest, lot of animals. So it is normally they encroach into the area of the where the people live, and there they come for the food and different such thing, and they also attack the people and the property because they break the house as well. So this is the main reason that the significant forest cover and settlement close to the wildlife. This is the main reason. And now the situation has become so worse that the Kerala declared the human-animal conflict at the state-specific disaster. Okay, and there has been the appointment of the chief wild warden appointed as the nodal officer. He will control and yes, look after to prevent such animal and human conflict. So you should know that what is the chief wild warden. He comes under the Wild Protection Act of 1972, and he is the head of the state forest department. Okay, and he is the responsible for the all these sanctuaries, national park within the state. So please remember this chief wildlife warden. It is a very important post. Okay. So this you should know. The other thing that the government is doing that now the government has raised more rapid response team and equipped with the firearms, surveillance device and tranquilizing guns. Tranquilizing guns means if you will shoot by that, the animal will lose its consciousness, and after that there will be the capture, and they will be sent back to the forest. So this is the thing. Besides that, there has been the Inter-State Coordination Committee involving the Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, because the forest area, there is the overlapping forest area, reserve, national park across these three countries, as there is the juncture in the hill area into the Western Ghat. Okay. So that's why there it need to the collaborative actions, intelligence sharing, and the resource exchange. So you can write all these things whenever you are going to write your answer for the solution, for the mitigation, what are the steps that is needed. Okay. Here it is not the only the elephant, but there are a lot of other animals such as the tiger, leopard, bears, wild goat, and the wild boar. They all have been there for the attack onto the human, and the monkey has been there that is attacking, that is causing the lot of loss to the crop. Okay, so here they all have been the into the, but the elephant attack is the utmost, that is the most. Okay. So here it is given that what are the plantation that occurs into the Kerala. If it comes into the your examination, you should know that what is the nutmeg. Nutmeg is this. Okay, this is the spicy product, and cocoa areca nut. You must be knowing the areca nut. This is like the nutmeg, but it is used into the this tambaku. Okay, so here this is the nutmeg. This is the Senna spectacles believes this is the invasive species. So one of the reason for this attack from the animal side onto the human settlement into the this foreign species. This is the alien species that is causing the loss of the native species, and that is impacting the food habitat of the animals, and that's why they are coming out of their settlement. Okay. Arrow roots, this is also one of the crop of the crop of the Kerala. Please remember, you can watch the picture here. Next, you should know that what is the temporal and the spatial specificity. So here you can include the forest degradation, change in the hydrology, and the flood proliferation to resort their forest area, and behavioral change into the wildlife and the invasion of the non-native plants. So you should remember all these things. These are the main cause that is also causing this. Okay. Besides that, this is not that the all the natural, this national forest or the wildlife, this sanctuary, wildlife sanctuary, they have the equal impact and equal intensity of the wildlife conflict with the human. There is the reserve such as the Periyar Tiger Reserve that has not faced that intensity of the conflict. Okay, but the conflict is very high into the Wayanad and to the Idukki. Okay, so please remember that there is the very special area, and yes, there is the fluctuation into such type of the intensity of the attack. Okay. So here the main thing is that the fragmentation of the wildlife habitat, less human population, dense human population within the forest patches, and availability of the food into the agricultural land, that is attracting the these animals into the human settlement. This is the main thing. Okay. Beside that, into the tourist places, the people go and they eat and they throw the things. So this is like the attraction, because whenever you throw the some of the remains, some of the residual food product that you are consuming, that will attract the animals, and that's why it is also going to cause the human animal conflict. So what we need here, we need to tourists should be made aware that what you do's and what you don'ts. Okay. So here the tribes people note the forest degradation of the flood and decline of the fruit bearing trees and blocked stream, that is also causing this animals to come to drive out of their settlement. Okay, so what are the things that we need? The first thing we need is to improve the quality of the forest. Okay. Second thing is that if there is the fragmentation into the forest, for example, if there is a lot of fragmentation. For example, let's see that this is the forest area. Again, there is the fragmentation, there is the settlement, this is the forest area. There is the fragmentation of here, this is the forest area. So if here it will be the settlement by the human, so there will be the conflict, because this is the path of the animals to go from here to here. So better this settlement should be made here or here. If this is the forest region that is connected to each other and the settlement is outside this area, so there will be the less human and animal conflict. So the utmost thing that we should consider into the solution or the mitigation approach is this. Okay. Beside that, we should also try to bring the natural forest stream if there is the blockage of the such streams, and also we should replant the indigenous species, and we can use the Manrega program under that, because whenever there is the native species, they will be consumed by the, this will be like act like the food for the animals. But if there is the invasive species, that is not the food wave, that doesn't come under to the food habit of the animals, and that's why they will go outside the their settlement area. Awareness program for the tourists: please don't do such type of the silly mistake and nonsense thing into the whenever you go for the tourist place like the sanctuary or the some of the forest area. Okay. In the last, what we need an institutional framework is starting from the grassroots level, involving various level of the governance, including the Gram Panchayat, district, states, and the inter-state cooperation. All this is needed, and that will result into the proper planning. Okay, so here one of the question that is very important, you should write: discuss the factor contributing to the rise in the human-wildlife conflict into the Kerala and its implication for the both wildlife and the human population. Also suggest measure to mitigate them. Okay, 250 words, 150 marks. So it is talking about the discuss the factors contributing. Okay, one of the demand of the question is that factors contributing rise of the human-wildlife conflict and its implication. You have to talk about the implication, and in the last you have to talk about the suggest measures. So it has the three components. So you should start with the context of the Kerala, where this situation has come to into the limelight. Then you should go for the factors, and after that you go for the implication, and in the last you have to bring the suggestion and conclude with the this type of conclusion, that what we needed, ultimate ending line with the ultimate final suggestion, final recommendation. So this should be your approach for the this question. Please write at least some sense you will get, and after that we will upload the model answer for this as well. Next important news that we are going to cover is the inequality dipped over the past decade. So what is it is talking that we have found that there has been the consumption among the lowest 5% of the this monthly per capita consumption that has increased for the population grew. This is faster than the top 5%, indicating that the decline in the inequality over the last decade. So it is like that if there is the two person going with the speed, so this person is far behind, this person is the leading, this is the away, this is the leading the path. So why when they will become the equal? So if he reduce its speed, he going for the in 1 hours, he is going for the in 1 hours it is going for the 10 kilometer, and if in 1 hours if he is going to the 1 hours it is going to the 20 kilometer, only then he will come closest to this. Okay, it will be here and that will be here, so distance between this will decrease. The same thing is going on into the economy. If there is the two group and one is already forward ahead of the other group, and this lowest group now it has the faster speed, so it can go it can reach to the level of the top 5. Okay, so this is the as per this is very nice idealistic idea, but yes, there has been the some of the such space as per the government. So this is known as the household consumption expenditures survey, and this is coming from the there. Okay, so what is this monthly per capita consumption? So it is the average monthly amount of money spent by individual with a specific area, and it includes the food as well as the non-food items. Okay, so the food items that could include the food grain and other area. Non-food, it could include the transportation, healthcare, education, other thing. Okay, so here this is the thing, a basic thing you should know. Next important news that we are going to cover is the India's now eyes for the Africa for the critical minerals. So first of all, you should know that what is the critical minerals. So let's see that these are the non-fuel items. They are the non-fuel items, and they are very critical into the construction and manufacturing of the many crucial things such as the electronic vehicles, solar panels, battery, even they are used into the defense systems such as the missile system, as well as they are used into the electronics such as the smartphones and the computers. That's why all this thing become very crucial, because the modern development, modern economy is based on all this thing. So what are the critical minerals? Critical minerals like the lithium you have must heard, then cobalt, as well as the rare earth materials. So these are known as they are the critical, because they are very much important for the critical and the defense area. So you should know the graphite is also coming into the critical minerals, nickel, and they are they are not that much common. That is not found into the India. They are mostly found ultimately into the Africa as well as the China. So you should remember now, so we are making a contract with the Africa. We are going to take the participation into the auction of the mines, and we have identified the countries like the Zambia, Namibia, Congo, Ghana. These are the countries there. They have the lot of the resources of this critical minerals, and already we see that that's why the China and the US, they are very much want to dominate this area. And one thing that you should know is this cobalt, where we are going to take our bid into the Africa, and this other bid that will be held after the election. Also, you should know that in the Australia, we are bidding for the lithium blocks. So this is all about you should know. And now one more thing you should know, very important, is lithium blocks in India. Jammu and Kashmir is the area where we have found. So there could be the confusion that it is Jharkhand or the Chhattisgarh, because generally the minerals are found into these area. So if you should avoid the confusion, and you should go for this. If the question comes on the lithium block that has been recently found, this is into the Jammu and Kashmir. Let's solve some of the questions that we have covered till now. So we will start with the first question. Consider following countries: Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Poland, Romania. How many of the above countries does the Dnieper river pass through? Only 2, only 3, only 4, all the 5. So here we saw that yes, it is originated from the Russia, then it's come to the Belarus, and then Ukraine. After that, it is into the Black Sea. So this is only for the 3. So the correct answer will be the B, only 3. Question number 2. Consider following statement about the Dnipro. This river is also known as the Dnipro, and D is the silent. Okay, so it is the longest river into Europe. It flows into the Caspian Sea. So neither this is correct, neither this is correct, because it is not the longest, it is the 4th longest, and it is longest only into the Ukraine. And it is not into the Caspian Sea, but it is into the Black Sea. So D will be the correct answer, neither 1 nor 2. Okay. Unified gliding and correction module glide bomb recently seen in the news or employed by military force of the Ukraine, United States, NATO, Russia. So we saw that it is from the Russian side that has used, and that's why they are dominating on the Ukraine. So D will be the correct answer. Question number 4. Which of the following pairs of the countries is separated by the Durand line? India, China, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, Pakistan. So what will be the correct answer? We saw that for the India-China, we have the McMahon line. So this is not correct. India-Pakistan, it is the Red Cliff line. And it is for the India and Afghanistan, that is the Afghanistan and Pakistan, this is the Durand line. And that's why on the dispute at the Durand line, there is the fight going between the Afghanistan and Pakistan. Next question, the Khadar tribe is primarily found in which state of India? So we found that they are found mainly into the Kerala. Okay, and they are involved particularly into they collect the produce from the forest area, and they are dependent on that area. They don't have the settlement now. They are gradually doing the settlement, but generally they are wanderer. Okay, so C, B will be the correct answer. Consider the following crop: rubber, coconut, nutmeg, cocoa, areca nut. How many of the above crops are considered major plantation crop in the Kerala? Only 2, only 3, only 4, all the 5. So we find that rubber is found, coconut is found, that is very everywhere that you can see. Cocoa common, nutmeg and areca nuts. You shouldn't be confused. They are also found because they are. This is the spice and this is used into the tobacco product. So this D will be the correct. So here we have covered most of the area that is relevant from the today's newspaper. So here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.